Hello everyone, today my topic is going to be terms of timer IC. Let's begin. First we have the table of contents which are sequentially stated below, and then we have to learn what is an IC. IC stands for integrated circuit, also called microelectronic circuit, microchip or chip. It is a single unit which consists of miniaturized active devices such as transistors and diodes, and passive devices such as capacitors and resistors, which are built up on a semiconductor material which is typically silicon. The two types of ICs which are analog and digital. The type of timer is an analog type which we are going to study today. And then what is a triple flush timer? By definition, it's a monolithic timing circuit that gives precise and highly stable delays of time or oscillation. It's an oscillator that provides oscillations. We get functions. And then where the name triple five comes from? The triple five timer got its name from the three 5 kilo ohm resistors that are used in its voltage driver network. And that's how a triple timer IC looks like in real life. There are 8 terminals, 4 on each side, which each have different functions. And that's what inside the triple timer IC. There's the block diagram of the triple timer IC. Here, as you can see, there are different sections of the block diagram. It is divided into the first section, the voltage divider circuit, which consists of these 3 resistors. Second is the comparators, which are 2 op amps. Third is the RS flip flop. Was a discharge circuit, discharge block with the transistor, and the last one is the output driver circuit. Then we each have different functions. First, the voltage is input at this 8 pin, and as we know, we will consider these ideal op amps, so they do not allow current. Current only flows in the resistor branch, and then voltage develops here. As the voltage divides here, there's a fixed ratio. At this point there is 2 by 3 of the VCC, and at this point there is 1 by 3, and there is an inverting terminal, there is a non-inverting terminal, so they provide 0 or 1 and 0 or 1. So only possible outputs are 0 and 1 from these op amps, and then this the flip-flop forwards the control over the discharge and the output. So now the output of the flip-flop depends on this truth table, in which the only necessary part is the second and the third, which are when S is 0 and R is 1, then no matter what the input, 0 or 1, the output is always 0, and when S is 1 and R is 0, no matter what the input, the output is always 1. Now these are some features of the triple five timer stated below. Now we have the pin description. Each pin has a different function, as we saw in the block diagram. These pins are namely ground pin, trigger pin, output pin, reset pin, control voltage pin, threshold pin, discharge pin, supply terminal. These are the eight pins of the triple five timer IC. And now we have the operating modes. There are 3 types of operating modes: a stable mode, monostable mode, and bistable mode. A stable mode of operation. In this mode, the circuit of the IC triple timer produces the continuous pulses with exact frequency based on the value of 2 resistors and capacitors. There are 2 resistors and capacitors, and it produces continuous pulses. It produces continuous pulses. There is the output with the change in these values. And then we have the monostable mode. In this circuit generates only single pulse when the timer gets an indication from the input of the trigger button. Here's the trigger button. Here it gets input from here and produces only single pulse. That's why it's called monostable. And then we have bistable mode. In this mode, the circuit produces 2 stable state signals which are low end states. It has 2 outputs. And then we have some applications of the triple timers stated below. And then we have some project ideas using the triple timer IC, which are stated below. Thank you for watching.